Hey guys, I'm Jessica and I am here today to talk to you about 6 books that inspire me to write. So these books that I'm about to show you are different, they're not the same genre, they're very different lengths, and the reasons they inspire me to write are also different. The first book that inspires me to write is one that I read in middle school, and that is The Giver by Lois Lowry. I think this is the first dystopian book I ever read, and it is still my favorite. The reason I love this book is that it taught me a lot about the purpose of pain. What I mean by that is it teaches you that you have to feel pain in order to feel joy. It teaches you that if life were perfect, then we wouldn't have joy, we wouldn't have happiness, we wouldn't appreciate anything. And that was an important lesson for me in middle school. That was a miserable time for me, and this book helped me realize that these terrible times are going to make me appreciate the good times that much more. The next book is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. Some people really did not like The Casual Vacancy, and I think it's because they went into it thinking it was going to have the same magical effect on them that Harry Potter did, when in reality this book is not very happy. It's very tragic. It has a very tragic and haunting ending. This is a very important book because it has a lot of social commentary, political commentary, and the characters are very, very realistic. One of the things I loved about this book is you didn't love the characters and you didn't hate them. They were real people. Another thing I loved is that it showed the flaws of every social class. It showed the problems that every social class experiences, and it shows that everyone struggles no matter what. In this book, J.K. Rowling talks about a lot of tough issues such as drug abuse, politics, struggles in relationships, struggles with depression. I loved this book because everything in it I could take and relate to America and my own life. And I love that J.K. Rowling branched out and did something other than fantasy. I like fantasy, but I don't want to write it. This is definitely more the style that I'm aiming to write. The next book is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This is one of those books that it's very important for young adults to read. I really like that it's a male protagonist and he's not the stereotypical male that we see in movies and TV shows. Like The Casual Vacancy, this book touches on some tough subjects that people don't often talk about. I also thought that it was beautifully written, and reading this book just makes me want to write. The next book is 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. Just like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, this book touches on subjects that people don't like talking about. This book is about a suicide. So the whole book happens after one of the main characters, Hannah, kills herself. But before she kills herself, she records audio tapes blaming 13 different people for her suicide. What I love about this book is it shows how much of an impact you can make on someone's life without even realizing it. Just like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, this book features a male protagonist. I think the characters are really well written, and there's kind of a mystery to it. Obviously you know the ending before it happens, but you're constantly wondering what's going to come next. This is one of those books that you read in a day and it sticks with you for a long time. This is one book that I got to teach and I really, really enjoyed it. I really liked the discussions that came out of it, and it showed me that this is something that teenagers need. This book has a lot of flashbacks, and I love writing flashbacks and using it as a tool. And this book definitely inspired me to use flashbacks in some different ways that I normally wouldn't have done. The next book is The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. This is one of my favorite books of all time. The amount of research and time that went into this book is incredible. It's about a family of 5 from Bethlehem, Georgia, which is actually not that far from me. They moved to the Congo to develop a church there. What I love about this book is it's written in multiple perspectives. You hear from all 5 female protagonists. You have the mom and then the 4 daughters. I love how developed each of their voices is. I also love that this novel works on many different levels. You have the story and then it's an allegory. There's also a lot of social commentary and political commentary in here. It makes you think about things like civilization and imperialism in completely different ways. There's also a lot of symbolism, which I love. It's a really complex novel, but it's so fun to read. My next book is Stephen King's 11/2263. This is a huge book, but I think I finished it in 3 days. For like a week after reading this, I was just kind of in a trance. This book mixes a lot of genres. There's some horror, there's some historical fiction, there's a little bit of romance, there's some mystery, but there is so much to this book that I enjoyed. This book really makes me want to write a mystery. So those are my 6 books that inspire me to write. Make sure that you subscribe if you want to follow along with me on my NaNoWriMo journey. I said I wasn't going to say journey. I have not yet decided what I want to write, but I still have a month. My baby is asleep, so I can't include him. I'll put a picture in here for you guys. Is this how people do thumbnails?